Hi and welcome to day 4 of the challenge I set myself to do a post a day for 7 days. Now it is Monday, guys, so there's probably a few of you out there feeling quite rough from the weekend antics, so hopefully you're not all suffering from the session depression. If you are, you've probably been doing it a bit too long and you're probably asking yourself why I did that extra line, why I stayed out that extra hour, why didn't I go home, why didn't I go to work. Why am I putting all this stress on myself? Why? Well, don't beat yourself up too much, guys, because it doesn't mean you're a bad person. Let's get into it. Because you're not, just because you're doing drugs or you found yourself in a situation where, you're surrounded by these things, it doesn't make you a bad person. You've probably just made some wrong choices along the lines that have ended you up in this situation. Just like I did many years ago. I went through the exact same situation, got with the wrong crowd, and then because I started off doing drugs as a sort of recreational thing, a sort of a weekend thing, a ravey thing, because for a long time drugs for me was a very social thing until it wasn't, and then when it wasn't, it's not pretty for anyone. Because it's a shame, because like I was saying, there is a lot of nice people out there. I mean, I'm not saying I trust them with my house and my car keys and my bank card, but I wouldn't have done that with myself either on those times, because I wouldn't have trusted myself in those situations either, because I know exactly what you was like, or I was like, and you lived for the session, so you was always looking for the next time, the next possible point, and there's probably a lot of yous out there that I've got on it all weekend. You're feeling a bit fragile today and Monday. Tuesday, you start feeling a bit better. Wednesday, you'll be feeling great again. And you'll be back out on it, doing the same thing again, called the Wednesday Club. And then the same cycle will happen again. Thursday morning, you'll be feeling like rough as. And you'll start coming round again on Friday. Friday night again, you'll feel top of the world. And you'll want to do it all over again. It's just an endless cycle. And for me, that cycle just didn't stop, and then it ended up carrying on to new things, new drugs, which I'm not proud of, but it is what it is. I can only learn from those past mistakes. I can't go changing anything now. So, really, I just wanted to touch on that, really, and just sort of say, just because there's people out there that are addicts or, suffering from sort of substance abuse, they're not bad people. They've just probably made some bad choices. So let's not all just jump on the backs and judge them. I'm not saying let's go and give them the shirt off your back to help these people. I'm not saying that, because a lot of the time they'll take that shirt off your back and sell it for a rock of crack. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it comes a time where someone actually wants to change. And it's not until that point then someone can actually change. But when someone does actually want to change and going to be honest with themselves and honest with others, then absolutely make sure you are there to support them and help them get back on the track. Because I know I would, because I know that it's not a lost cause. Seeing my own story, I know it's not a lost cause. I know there is hope for people out there. Just because you've been doing drugs for X amount of times doesn't mean it's the end of the line for you. Jeez, I've been doing it since I was 18, 19, in fact, younger than that. If we talk about weed and everything else, then I've been doing drugs since the age of 16. I'm now 41, and I've been off drugs now for 2 years. So anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. So that's all I really wanted to talk about today. So hopefully see you on day 5. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye for now.